What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Respect the Combat, episode 251. Early happy 4th of July weekend. To be honest, I didn't think there was going to be an episode because it was 4th of because it is 4th of July weekend, but we're here and I'm not by myself. So I'm here with my host. First and foremost, we got Eric Hausen coming in
Yes, yes,
today.
yes, yes. Yeah. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good. It's fucking hot. It's disrespectfully hot.
It's very fucking hot, uh, but we're not alone. We also have Donese with us today. Donese, how we doing?
The half is back, baby. But yeah, you'll find out why I actually hate Eric's PFP right now. Granted, yes, I love Danhausen. We'll get to that when we talk about Night of Champions.
You will respect the Danhausen.
No, here's the thing. We will talk about it when we get to Night of Champions.
It was his
because I
daughter's
agree with
birthday.
Salty
You will show
Zach.
respect to the Danhausen. It was the daughter's birthday yesterday. You will show respect to the Danhausen or you will be cursed.
Like I said, we will get to it when we talk about Night of Champions because there is some BS we got to talk about there.
That's it. You're cursed.
And as well, we have our other host Trico coming in as well. Trico, how
Oh,
we
hey, you
doing?
remembered his name this week.
Yeah, I think brain farted this time.
Considering the fireworks, the early fireworks that we had on Monday going into SummerSlam, this is going to be a very interesting 4th of July episode.
Oh yeah,
That was part of it. That was part of why I'm like triggered and disapprove Eric's Danhausen PFP. So I'm sorry.
well, we do have an interesting episode today, and it's going to be a pretty interesting one. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are you all ready?
Yes.
All right, well-
much so ready.
Well, starting with the mainstream, it was on the same day that we did our episode last week. We did find out that Joe Doring passed away. So rest in peace to Joe Doring. Our condolences are with his family and his loved ones. I know that must have been a difficult decision for them to deal with and whatnot, but he's in a better place and he's not in pain anymore. But our condolences goes out to his family and loved ones.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to
Multiple battles with brain cancer and just early 40s is crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
For sure, for sure.
I was going to say he was only 44 years old passing away, and it's very sad. He honestly still had a lot of fight in him. He still had a lot of good years left, like at least half a decade left, because I know he was up there in age, obviously. But his All Japan career was amazing. The work that he did in TNA was great, and gone way too soon. Genuinely gone way, way too soon.
Yeah.
Agreed. In other news, Hilarious is reportedly the new head of creative in light of Tommy Dreamer's getting released from TNA. So big congratulations to Hilarious for taking on that role. How do you guys feel about that?
We'll get to that when we talk about DNA later, because what the Slammiversary, what the fuck?
Yeah, true that. As well, we NWA announces Into the Fire. Tapings for it will happen August 21st and 22nd. Where's that taking place?
That will be taking place in Tampa. So the tapings themselves will not be open to the public, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yeah, those tapings will not be open to the public. Just because the thing is that we are going to be taping this for it to be on TV. So that's kind of the reason why. It's going to be kind of more so like a reality TV based type deal, if that makes sense.
Ooh.
So basically,
Okay.
what's happening here, since now I'm able to be a lot more public about this, because I can tell you, they've been working on this for a little bit. We're going to be having a bunch of people sending in applications for coming on. Now, here's the caveat: you don't have to have wrestling experience to apply. You don't. If you're just a longtime wrestling fan, or you're Hobo Jenkins over here that's been living in the deep south of Florida for God knows how long, and you drive a bus / pickup truck. And Irving, you know what I'm talking about. You've seen them. And, you could still apply. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, are there actual wrestlers that are applying as well? Yeah, we've had plenty of actual wrestlers.
You cut off.
Again.
Oh, hello.
You're back.
You're back.
I blame the Mossad. Okay, so either way, I'm excited to see how this plays out because I definitely think this is something that could be turned into a continuous platform, and it opens up a door for opportunity. I mean, WWE's been handing out opportunities left and right, so it's like, why can't other companies do it as well?
So how does one go to apply? Do you know about that?
So what you will want to do is that you will go over to nationalwrestlingalliance.com, scroll down a little bit. You'll see a section where it has the Into the Fire logo. You're going to click that. It's going to take you to the page. There will be an email button. When you press that email button, it'll pop up. Also, if you're on your desktop, make sure that you are actually logged into an email app on your desktop. If you're not, it won't work when you're clicking the button. Why? I don't know. Go yell at the people that invented the internet. And then if you're on your phone, though, most phones nowadays have the Gmail app or Outlook or whatever the fuck it is. So that, if you're doing it off your phone, you literally just click the button, opens up, send out the email, and then you will be forwarded the application to apply.
All right. Sounds good. So if anybody's interested that's watching this, make sure you go check that out.
Yes.
I might give it a shot just for the hell of it, so we'll see.
It's funny that, Eric, you're saying you're having issues with a hyperlink, and you're what now for the NWA?
Shut up. Shut up. I know I am the web developer for the NWA, but that does not mean I am the IT department.
You walked into that.
Anyways,
bad
yes,
internet,
honestly,
and then you can't even.
Honestly, dude, you should apply. Like, if you have if you can come up with a good character and you can figure out how to market it, why the fuck not? We literally had a guy send in a video the other day of him saying why he should be accepted while he was taking a shit.
Really?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
I gotta get creative.
People,
I gotta
that's
think
what I'm
of
saying.
something.
People are genuinely getting creative with this, and I fucking love it. I love
That's
it.
awesome.
Like, to everyone that's been I will even say it on here, to everyone that's been sending in videos so far, to everyone that's applied so far, thank you. It's been so much fun watching all this stuff online. You guys are probably some of the most creative human beings I've ever met. But just keep it up, guys. Like, seriously, keep sending stuff in, keep applying, keep sending those applications in. We love it. We genuinely do.
That's awesome. All right.
And message Eric directly with your videos of you taking a shit.
No, do not message me directly of your videos taking a shit. Send them to submissions@nationalwrestlingalliance.com.
Anyways, continuing. Yuki Kamifuku, I hope I pronounced that right, is retiring from TJPW on December 26th. That's my birthday. Why did I have to retire on my birthday? The fuck? I guess that's going to be a show that's happening on that day too?
Yeah, that is within that company, TJPW. So the Joshi World through AEW.
Okay.
Yep.
Hang on, am I reading this next one right? The Undertaker and Michelle McCool's daughter is already training at the PC? Huh?
Yes.
I think I saw a clip of it too.
Yes, and that's where I got that. That's my source from Michelle herself.
Yeah, so she was like doing she was doing like the old school walk, but doing flips from the ropes, like on the actual rope.
She's already doing flips from the rope with the old school?
but like old school flips and shit.
Well,
yes, it's almost.
This is about to be a fun 2 decades.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's on Michelle's Instagram page. That's the source that I saw it.
I gotta go watch this now.
TikTok. I saw it on TikTok. So
we're gonna stay on this until I watch it. I need to watch this video now. Because
yeah, go to Michelle McCool's Instagram. That's where I saw it.
In other news, Mick Foley's WWE Legends deal has expired. So does that mean that he can finally wrestle for AEW?
He can do whatever. Like, he has no ties, not even merchandising through WWE anymore.
Because I saw an article that he was planning on having his last match with AEW, if I'm not mistaken. Is that still happening?
Well, I don't know if he can. If he gets cleared, like, he's free as a bird. Like, zero ties, zero merchandising whatsoever. That's why Cope and Christian, like, they had to get that cleared, and Cope slowly started phasing out because he had all the trademarks.
Well, I was
Yeah.
also going to say,
You cut off again. You cut off again.
Wow.
All right,
Yes.
you're back. Go
Well,
again.
what I was trying to say before. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. What I was trying to say before is I was also reading reports that he realized that there were still a lot of people on the roster that he wanted to have matches with.
Okay.
And that's another reason why he pushed back his retirement.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll see a few more matches out of him. I mean, if of course he gets cleared.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Like, at his age, with as banged up as he was, even in TNA, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only time will tell, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yep. Netflix is blurring out blood on WWE replays per WWE themselves. What the fuck is up with that?
Okay.
Here,
So,
hold on.
and people
This is
that
the
I was.
perfect time for, wait, this is the perfect time for this.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
That clip got muted, by the way.
What?
They
Why?
don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Oh, it says it says Mike got muted.
Okay. But, yeah, it wasn't ESPN. It wasn't Netflix. The clip is shown in its entirety in the replay on ESPN. And this is the first Night of Champions snafu, because when Braun got busted open for the rest of the match, they blurred out his face. And apparently it was a WWE call to blur out Braun Breaker's face.
I mean, after all this time, why all of a sudden it had to be now? I mean, how many times have we seen fucking people bleed in matches? Why all of a
To that
sudden
level.
to make why all of a sudden? I mean, if you look at CM Punk and Drew McIntyre's match, CM Punk was way more bloody than Braun Breaker was. You know, so
Yep.
why is it that all of a sudden you have to blur out Braun Breaker? You know, so it makes no fucking sense. But
Yeah.
whatever.
That's on the Netflix replays exclusively, but ESPN, it is uncensored,
Yeah,
which is crazy.
it's stupid.
Yeah.
Recording of Ari Emanuel trying to help Vince McMahon back in 2022 released this week, and I actually just heard those clips or whatnot, and I was actually reading into this too. And it's crazy because like there were so many bidders that were interested in buying WWE, including Tony Khan, who was the lowest bidder out of everybody else. I don't know the exact amount. I didn't look up how much he bid, but Tony Khan was actually one of the bidders for that. And I think the highest bidder was Endeavor's rival, which was I think it was Liberty or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but in the recording, you can literally hear Ari literally is trying to find a loophole to help Vince with his legal troubles that were about to be serviced around that time with Janelle Grant and all that shit. So I don't know. I feel kind of iffy about that situation, man, because like it kind of. Like if it was me, if I was the owner of WWE and all that, I don't care what kind of legal troubles I'm in or whatever or whatnot. I would sell to the highest bidder, you know, and the moment all those the legal troubles started coming up and all that, eventually I would just step away completely. But the fact that Ari Emanuel tried to find a loophole to try to get him out of it, just to get involved with WWE and merge WWE and TKO together, and UFC together to form TKO, it feels kind of sketchy in my opinion.
Kinda,
It's
Huh?
like
kinda.
there are things that we are not at liberty to say on how crazy the business practices have been. We're just going to leave it at that. But yeah, this doesn't surprise me.
Well, I mean, it's already been released and whatnot, and people are gonna have their opinions regardless, you know. So we can still give our opinions on how we feel about the whole ordeal with Ari Emanuel trying to get WWE from Vince and whatnot. So it doesn't make a fact; it just makes it an opinion from our end. That's how I feel about it. So
What year did The Rock get on the board? That's my question.
I think it was 2022, was it?
Yeah, it was around that time. That's what I'm like.
Let me see.
That's probably why they tried to do it.
Join TKO. No, 2024. So 2 years after.
Okay, so yeah, they had zero ties and just were trying to monopolize the combat sports world,
Yeah.
live combat sports world. That's all that was.
Yeah.
And how scummy it is slowly but surely coming out. This is just the latest and possibly the grossest, if you really think about it. Because it's like, why?
Yep. I agree. Well, in other news, we're gonna go over the Forbidden Door matches that happened this past weekend.
Before you continue, can we just say, please change the name? Because you already got people that have been in New Japan or CMA that's already AEW. Just please change the name.
Thank you.
Wait, change the what? Forbidden Door?
Yeah,
Yes.
just change the name. Give it a new name.
Why is that? Why do you want? Why do you think they should change it?
Bro, do you even know what I just said? They got all the people that's from they used to be in New Japan, CML, are all in AEW already. What's the point?
Yeah, I agree with Trico because it was like maybe two or three like marquee matches that were not AEW versus AEW on that card. Everything else was like AEW versus AEW.
Yeah,
Or-
there was a. I kind of understand where he's coming from because, like he said, like most of the talent from New Japan and CMLL that AEW wanted, they already signed them, and I can't really think of one match on that card. I mean, there may have been a couple. I might just be missing them, but I can't think of one where it was like AEW versus New Japan or AEW versus CMLL. I mean, the only real one I could think of was Shota Umino versus Pac. But
SLK versus
what
Tekla.
actual build was there to there?
Yeah.
Like, don't get us
Nothing-
wrong. Like, don't get us wrong. Like, Forbidden Door, the pay-per-view on Sunday, it was a great pay-per-view. But it still had two problems, like we just mentioned. All the talents that used to be in other companies are AEW, and it's still too long.
That's my
Oh my
issue.
God.
That was my fucking issue because like I was watching like the last half of it, and all of a sudden I think once the main event started and all that, I fell asleep like maybe like 5-10 minutes into the match, and I woke up like maybe like the last 10 minutes of the match to seeing fucking Ospreay win, and yeah, it was in San Francisco, so they're in fucking West Coast time or whatever or whatnot. But like, bruh, that shit was just fucking long, bro. Like, I don't want to be up until 1 o'clock in the morning to watching a fucking
Thank
AEW
you.
event, you know? Like,
Let alone on a Sunday.
exactly, especially when I had to work on Monday, you know. So, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, the matches were great. I saw some of the highlights of the matches that I missed and everything, you know. But it was just too long, and I was already like tired and ready to go to sleep and everything, you know. So like, luckily, I was able to wake up to catch the last bit of Ospreay and Strickland, but but they need to at least at least midnight is a decent time to win. At least mid, but 1 o'clock in the morning is it's too much. It's too much.
Right.
So
And there were some matches that didn't need to happen on a card.
they didn't even need to last long either. So, but anyways, we're gonna go over the results. Drilla Maloney defeated Daniel Garcia. Micah defeated Sky Blue for the TBS Championship Survival of the Fittest qualifying match. Divine Dominion, Megan Bain, and Lena Cross defeated Thunder Rosa and Olympia for the AEW World Tag for the women's tag team titles. The Young Bucks defeated El Sky team of Mystico and Mascara Dorada and Unbound Co of Shingo, Tagaji, and Titan in a three-way tag team match. Kenny Omega defeated Zack Sabre Jr., and I know that was a great match, but I think that should have been a little bit shorter, in my opinion. John Moxley defeated Bandido for the AEW Continental Championship. Shota Umino defeated Pac. That was for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion. Tekla defeated Starlight Kid for the Women's World Championship, and at the end of the match, she decided to take off her mask and mock Starlight Kid and, of course, the president of Stardom. Cope and Cage defeated the Dogs with the help of Jay White coming out and doing the Blade Runner. What's it? Blade Runner? What's it called?
Yeah, Blade Runner after 14 months away.
Yeah, after being 14 months away, that was actually pretty cool to see. And whatnot, because I mean, seeing the gang, the Bang Bang gang come out, and then seeing Ace Austin with them and whatnot, then all of a sudden you hear the schling. I was like, Jay White, and then you see Jay White in the ring. That was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of smiled.
Yeah, that was probably a moment of the.
I was gonna say I did like how they did that.
That crowd went crazy when Jay White came out. So,
But it did kind of bury the ref with how long he was out.
Yeah, that is true. Mercedes Moné defeated Maya World for the women's Owen Hart Cup final, which we already knew that was going to happen, and that match should have been shorter too.
I mean, you're not going to shorten a Mercedes Moné match, and Maya World now has, I want to say, the second longest match with Mercedes of her AEW run.
Yeah.
The first is still one of the ones with Stat.
Yep.
Which was still about 25 minutes. But
Yeah.
I do agree to get to your point, because that was my issue with this entire card and the entire Forbidden Door concept. Because really interpromotional matches through AEW and TNA in general, it makes the results way too predictable when it comes to title matches.
Yeah, I agree. In a Death Doors match,
Is that
which
what
was
that fucking thing is called? Now?
I
Death
guess
Doors?
that's what it is. That's what it says on here. That's what I'm reading. So that's what they called it, I guess. But it was a
Yeah, they did.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That concept of the cage match was actually pretty cool in my opinion.
I mean,
It was-
the cage is pretty fucking cool, but why Death Doors?
I don't know. But it was
That is the gayest shit I have ever heard, and I'm half gay.
It was a great match, especially having Leo Rush come out and everything.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny how he just
Kyle,
rolled out of the fucking bag.
Kyle O'Reilly coming out with a fucking Nintendo and smashing somebody in the head with it. That shit was fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie. And of course, Tim Briscoe defeated Team DC MJF, and that was after the fact that Andrade betrayed MJF and Don Callis and showed a shirt that says "fuck MJF" and "fuck Don Callis." And
But Irving, how you know?
how to know what?
How you know?
How I know what? Shut
Move
up.
on.
Shut up. Anyways, that was a great match. I mean, it was bloody and everything. Fucking the spots were great and whatnot. Crazy as hell, you know. I gotta give it to Darby Allin because Darby Allin jumping off that cage and landing on those guys, it was fucking great. And then that one guy, what was it, Kevin Knight? Fucking
Yeah,
getting
that's who
exploded.
deserves all the shout out with
Yeah,
that spot.
Kevin Knight had, I guess, a back exploded in his face and he fell down through tables and shit. That was great. I gotta give him. I gotta give that whole match. I gotta give it an A plus because that was great. And then
What the jackass were they thinking putting that match together?
I don't know, but whoever it was, they did great. They did great. I'll say this: that was a really good match. It was a really good match. And then finally,
I do think they needed like 5-10 minutes shaved off it though.
yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna lie. But even though it was so great. And then finally, for the final match, it's Will Ospreay defeated Swerve Strickland for the Men's Owen Hart Cup final. And he'll be receiving a AEW World Championship match at All In. And that was one hell of a match. I mean, even though I had to like rewatch the whole match the next day because I didn't get to watch the full match, but I know towards the end, it was just crazy because I was not expecting the ending the way that it ended. And those guys did hell. And I mean, what did you guys think about the whole show? Other than being too fucking long,
I do think blood in moderation. Like, yes, we joke about and we're about to when we get the Night of Champions of the use of blood, but it was in so much moderation to you remember, oh, that came from Seth and Braun versus AEW. You don't remember the exact spot or the exact moment of what was a bloodbath because there were multiple times throughout the night and a long night at that to where people just got bloody.
Yeah, but I mean, we also got to understand AEW is not like WWE. They pretty much can do whatever the hell they want, you know. So they're not trying to televise the show to the PG audience like WWE is. So so they're like the outlaws of the wrestling industry, in my opinion. So so we are going to expect a lot more bloodbath in AEW more than what you see in WWE.
Even though I agree with you, I do think less is more. Just so stuff is like more memorable.
Yeah, for sure,
Down
for sure.
Versus like, oh, everything has to be as long as we're talking, or everything has to result in a bloodbath. Like stuff gets watered down over time, and I do think the impact of Ospreay versus Swerve got watered down by the match that preceded it, that got turned into Jackass. Or as we'll get to the rest of those highlights from Forbidden Door, Briscoe lost the world title shot, unfortunately, and Hikaru Shida being the new TDS champion based off survival of the fittest, which, yeah, we kind of saw those coming. And then, of course, Kenny's getting the title shot next week, which, what?
Yep. Well,
I thought that was going to be the redemption match, but whatever.
Yeah, true.
But the question is how it's gonna end at Beach Break, because is it if Kenny loses the title that he can't challenge her, or is it if he loses to MJF? Because either way it goes, we could see a rematch at Redemption. And here's what I'm thinking: Mick Foley as the special guest referee.
My question is, why are we doing this stipulation for a third time? Because we saw what it did to Cody. We're seeing what it does with Hangman right now. Do you need it with Kenny as well? With Kenny's, like,
well,
50-50
technically,
health.
it happened to the Butts, and they won the tag team title match at that time.
I'm saying with those that lost, so not those that won. That's why I didn't include the Bucks. But if you do, that would make it the fourth time. And even, I think it was Nick that said it. why are we doing this again?
Yep, I agree.
Because it like pigeonholes and stifles the booking of one of your top acts. And with Cody, it's just like, I can't go for the world title. I guess I'll just make a vortex around the TNT title.
Yep. And that is it for the Forbidden Door match results. Now we're gonna go to Night of Champions. Ova Femi defeated Jey Uso for the King of the Ring tournament final. And
Thank God.
And
Not thank God. What the fuck?
let me actually
We'll
want
get
go.
to that part. We'll get to that part in a minute.
Let me actually go off on this because I think we should go off on this right now, to be honest.
Yes.
Because what the fuck is WWE doing?
Thank you.
You know, because me personally, if I would have been the writer, the way I would have wrote this was have Brock Lesnar come out, interfere, make Oba Femi lose, which would lead to Brock Lesnar versus Oba at SummerSlam in a Hell in a Cell, and then Jey Uso could face whoever he wanted. You know, but now because Oba Femi won, Monday Night Raw comes. And Brock Lesnar comes out and attacks Oba Femi with a low blow and gets him an F5. And now Oba Femi holds on to his title shot to go face fucking Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Like,
no,
like what's
Okay.
like what is the point of having a King of the Ring tournament to get a title shot at SummerSlam if they're gonna use that title shot like a Money in the Bank briefcase?
Okay, here's the thing, and I will sum this up right now. The end of the night should have been if Seth won that four-way instead of Javon. Yes, you could have beat either of the other two in the match, but Seth got the pin, not Javon. Went on and won his side of the bracket. You could have the Brock moment at the Night of Champions, and then Seth goes on to do what he did anyway. Confirm he's going after Roman because you weren't going to do the other because you're saving that for, I don't know, Chicago Monday after Cody wins the title of freaking again.
No, it should have been Seth they brought in the finals at the beginning and no steel cage match.
Yeah.
That would have worked too. But then what they did with the Vision, RIP.
Yeah. But anyways, continuing on, Io Sky defeated Liv Morgan, but for the Queen of the Ring tournament final,
Thank God.
she'll be received a title match for the Women's World Championship, and she decided to challenge Liv Morgan on that same night, letting her know that she was going to come after her. So big congrats to Io Sky for that. She well deserved. So I look forward to seeing that match at SummerSlam.
I gotta go off on this as well because why are we doing a rematch? Like, why was Liv in there in the first place? Just so we can get a rematch and have your world champion get beat. And also, this is where, and I gotta agree with Santi's that Danhausen is gonna overstay his welcome because the worst thing about it, do y'all think WWE is about to use Danhausen as a crutch to cover up their bad booking?
He's already on the cover of the upcoming Saturday's Main Event in New York.
To cover up their bad booking because they literally covered up Liv was about to get beat by having her get cursed, and the entire Judgment Day storyline is about to be set up by Danhausen cursing every member of the Judgment Day because Raquel's next, and that's gonna fumble the women's IC title picture.
Yep, I agree. In other news, Seth Rollins defeated Braun Breaker in a steel cage match, which it looks like which now it looks like it's finally put to rest. No more Vision and Seth Rollins, so now Seth Rollins is going to be challenging, of course, Roman Reigns at SummerSlam for the world title. Trick William, accompanied by Lil Yachty, defeated Ricky Saints for the United States Championship. Tiffany Stratton defeated Jade Cargill for the Women's United States Championship, and Sami Zayn finally wins the world a WWE Championship after he defeated Cody Rhodes and Gunther, which, in my opinion, he should have gotten that opportunity a long time ago. But we already are speculating that he's gonna lose on a Monday to Cody Rhodes, so that shit is fucking stupid, in my opinion, if they actually do that. Because what's the point of him winning the fucking title just to lose it right back to fucking Cody? But your thoughts on that, guys?
When is going to be Minneapolis or SummerSlam? Because you remember Punk saying when Punk and Cody had their last confrontation, the last night Punk was there, which was the night after Mania, Cody said, just say when. Punk's going to come out in Chicago, SummerSlam, after Cody pulls a John Cena on Rey Mysterio. In this case, Sami Zayn.
Yeah. And that is it for Night of Champions. Now we're gonna go over the Great American Bash results, and that happened at the Performance Center, which I wish I would have known that it was gonna be there because I would have went. But, anyways, Tony D'Angelo defeated Naraku for the NXT Championship, which personally I feel like Naraku should have gotten that defeat, but I don't know what NXT is doing over there, but whatever. Zarya defeated Tatum Paxley to retain the Women's North American Championship. Shiloh Hill defeated Tristan Angels. Ren Sinclair defeated Ariana Grace by submission to retain the Women's Speed Championship. Sacred Sugars defeated Dion Lennox. Miles Bourne defeated T-Gun Heights to retain the NXT North American Championship. And Kendall Gray defeated Lola Vice to win the NXT Women's Championship. Your thoughts on that, guys?
Okay, Kendall beating Lola. I do feel like she's getting, even though she is the best pure athlete that they have and best natural athlete, I kind of feel like she is getting a little forced at this point as the next big thing. And I agree when they were saying Kevin Knight's the next one up. Don't tell us, show us that they're the next one up. Like, gradually show us they're the next one up. And everybody's been saying, oh, Kendall's the best athlete, Kendall's the best athlete, yada, yada, yada. And getting 3 title shots in a year and finally winning it, you're just like, huh? Naraku losing his second match, I don't think he needed to be in that position to get it. I think it should have been Mason Rook because he's already been he's having matches regularly on NXT, got his character over, started with Tony's head, so it would have been made sense, and yet they made him. And yet, I don't know why WWE Creative wants every Japanese wrestler to randomly spray mist, Japanese heel, to end up spraying mist and coming off a certain, like, stereotype. Because Naraku did that, and I'm just like, here we go again.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Shinsuke all over again.
Shinsuke and Asuka.
Yeah, well, I mean, but Asuka had it for like the longest.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's whatever, you know.
And then they bust up it was like a fireball and the mist. I'm like, come on, y'all. Can we not go with Japanese wrestling tropes?
Yeah.
From America for one character? Nope. We gotta somehow market this to our viewers.
I agree. Now we're gonna go over the Slammiversary results. Elena Black defeated Indy Hartwell and Marsha Day in a triple threat. Ricky also defeated Eric Young, which I think that was Eric Young's last match, was it?
Yes, because he requested and was granted his release a day or so after, which Eric's Goldstein's reaction was kind of mine too, because it was just out of nowhere. But he is reportedly going back to WWE to fulfill a Sean Spears role over there, with just being a player coach in NXT,
Okay.
from what I've been reading.
In an Ultimate X match for the TNA X Division Championship, Cedric Alexander retained after defeating Amazing Red, Fabian Egner, Frankie Kazarian, Casey Navarro, Leon Slater, and Mr. Elegance. I feel like that match was a little too short. Only 10 minutes and 30 seconds. I think it should have been at least 15, in my opinion.
I kind of, if any match deserved to be 15, I would say that one, just because of the added element of like showing the struggle of climbing
Mm-hmm.
the structure to get to the center for the title,
Exactly.
and the fact that it's one of TNA's big signature matches. So yeah,
Exactly. Elijah defeated AJ Francis, accompanied by Expressions, which he basically gets to keep his name, likeness, and music catalog. Demon X Bunny, Rosemary, and Ali defeated the Elegance brand to become the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champions.
let's see how long they actually defend him for.
And also, let's see, Mustafa Ali retained his international championship against Rich Swann and Ua Nation, aka Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews made his debut at Sacrifice.
Anniversary.
Oh, sorry, Slammiversary. I don't know why I'm thinking Sacrifice. My bad.
Got Steiner on your brain.
Yep. Moose, accompanied with JDC, defeated Eddie Edwards, and that was a crazy match as well. Sarah Bruce, sorry,
No surrender match, and the cornerman had to quit for the competitor, which either JDC, after watching Moose's family get bodied, would have had to quit for Moose, or Alicia would have had to quit for Eddie, and it resulted in both the Edwards getting speared through a table.
Yep.
With a chain, by the way.
Yep. Sarah Brooks defeated Lei Jean Lee to become the TNA Knockouts World Champion.
Yep, shout out to Zaya Brookside. And yep, they are doing the rematch next week. No DQ.
Damn, already? That's crazy.
Yep.
The Broken Hotties defeated the System, the Righteous, and the Great Hands to become the World Tag Team Champions.
Part 5.
And Nick Nemeth defeated Mike Santana to become the TNA World Championship, the champion. And I think Mike Santana is also leaving TNA too, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
He was not at the taping.
So,
Reportedly, he was not at the last taping, so he might be done as well.
yeah, I know there's been reports that he might be headed to WWE, so
Yep.
we'll see what happens.
And there were a bit of things that were not on there as well. The TNA Knockouts Television Championship got announced with a tournament that started last night with Marv Sade going to the second round. 16 women that I don't know how they pulled that off, but then again, they were still partnered with WWE and reportedly partnered with OVW. And to the point where Wendy Chu and Thea Hale are pulling triple duty right now.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
And that is it for the mainstream highlights. If you haven't followed our social medias, make sure you follow on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I think we have what's that? The other one that's partnered with Meta. What's it called? Threads.
Yes.
Yeah, that we
Follow us
should,
on
because
Threads.
that is the IG.
Yep. And make sure you go to our website at respectthecombat.com so you can subscribe and stay updated with the latest wrestling news updates. And now to the up in discussion. No word on why, but WWE talents are being pulled from certain indie dates for Evolve tapings. Eric?
WWE ID.
WWE,
And
WWE ID talents, correct. Eric, you want to go over that?
Okay. And I brought this up because I know you do work with AI, like, or loosely affiliated or just associated with AIW as well, and they were a couple of them. So, essentially, what the independent scene is seeing right now is for WWE dates, because I don't know how accurate this is, because obviously I'm not production for WWE, none of us are. But unless you are known there, you're getting there day of, but a lot of people are getting there the day before. So some independent days where people were getting booked, because obviously outside of Evolve, what are you doing with the ID program? So people booked indie dates. However, WWE pulled them because they need them the day before for rehearsals and stuff, or Evolve. And some independent promoters are understanding, some are just like, because I know Marcus Mathers was one. I forgot the other one I heard about yesterday.
Starboy Child.
Yep. Like, both of them got pulled from a couple shows because they're working Evolve tapings. And indie promoters, some are understanding, some are not, just pissed because it's like to the point where unless you are having a fully like non-union contract, like a union contract, you pull this, you are barred. That was like the sentiment out there. I know I sent a 6-minute clip from Alvarez and Filthy Tom about it, but yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, and I meant to say Starboy Charlie.
Yes.
So I do apologize on the name. So, and then sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I forgot the second name. My bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. And then WWE has announced 2 PLEs on the same day as AEW All In, and I kind of want to go off on this a little bit because they did the same thing for Forbidden Door, where they had Great American Bash, and Great American Bash pulled a 0.07 in their ratings. I just want to know what the fuck are they thinking? Like, why are they going to overlap All In with NXT Heatwave and AAA? Or AAA, if you want to be specific. I said it in Spanish, but like, what's the fucking point of trying to compete with AEW, especially if you're not even able to beat AEW's PLE numbers? You know, like it makes no sense. Like, why not book your shows the week after, so that way people don't have to spend a lot of money on buying different shows or whatever. Even though I think the one for NXT is free, if I'm not mistaken. It's because it's on CW.
I think unless they switched it, I don't know what's setup they're using now. It might be free on YouTube, but I am unsure.
Yeah, I know AAA is free because you can watch all the shows on YouTube and whatnot. But I know for the NXT Heatwave, I'm not sure if it's free or not. So
yeah, but either way. And they did this with Evolution. They gave it a BS build and then had it compete with a random show just because a BS rushed build had to compete with the other company just because you were trying to garner attention away from the other company. And let's face it, Great American Bash, their build was ass. The show was garbage. Not as much as you trying to compete with AEW the same weekend as a Beyonce concert and think it's okay to book the show across the street. And the women's roster gave the WWE production the biggest middle finger ever because the show was actually legit. But it would have been so much better not having it across the street from Beyonce because you want to try and compete with AEW. But with this, y'all didn't even try because, like we talked about, nobody thought, outside of maybe Kendall and Lola, any titles were changing, and the stories were kind of ass. Let's be real.
I agree. Go ahead.
Because they were rushed. Simple. They were rushed and ass. Go ahead.
And I mean, it makes no sense that it kind of overlap all in and whatnot. When guarantee you that majority of the fan base of the wrestling fan base are going to be watching All In compared to AEW. I mean, compared to NXT and AAA. It takes away, if anything, AEW is going to take away all the numbers from WWE and AAA altogether because not many people are going to be watching all the shows at the same time. They're going to be focused more on fucking All In. All In is already getting built, especially because it's happening at Wembley, and that's like one of the biggest events. So it makes no sense that WWE and TKO are pulling this bullshit to try to compete with AEW when we already know they're probably going to end up failing again, just like they fell with Great American Bash. So
the only thing that might save it is because All In is going to be early in the day compared to.
It's overlapping.
Which one is?
NXT Heatwave.
Oh, God.
It's overlapping. They're both starting at 3 p.m.
Just to get the Triple Mania in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. And I know Triple Mania is going to have a good build. I don't know about Heatwave.
Well, but the thing about it is with AAA, there's really not a great viewership because not many people really watch AAA, other than the people that one because it's on YouTube, and not many people internationally don't watch it, other than like people in the United States and maybe Canada and whatnot, and maybe South of America watches it,
right?
But like you don't have people from the UK probably don't watch it and whatnot. And whatever other countries there is, because I'm not going to go through all that, but they don't really pull as big numbers as NXT, as a regular NXT episode. I'll say, they might pull maybe like at least if it's a good show, at least 300,000 viewers, So, and that's on a good day. So the fact that they're trying to pull that with All In is crazy. And I'll say this, normally I'll be talking shit about Tony Khan because I ended up seeing the press conference after Forbidden Door, and Tony Khan, when they asked him how he felt about the announcement, and when he took it as a professional, he wasn't talking shit. He was just pretty much like chill back. He's like, yeah, we're still gonna deliver our best show as much as we can and whatnot, and hopes that we can pull some great numbers and entertain the fans. Compared to back then, where he would talk shit and be like, "Oh, we're gonna beat them," blah 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 blah.
I'm tired of this fucking shit.
I gotta give it to TK. He took that as a professional. He said, we're gonna give the best show that we can to entertain our fans and keep them happy at the end of the day. So I'll give him, a hand for that one, in my opinion. So,
and debatably, I know, Eric, you're gonna probably crucify me for this, maybe Irving as well, but I do think AEW has the most complete women's division right now, and they can easily dip into using the ROH pool whenever. But overall, AEW does have, especially compared to WWE, we talked about it with Liv, who outside of Io has challenged her since Stephanie. Soul hasn't been on TV since the trolls got to her, which I know you all talked about while I was gone. And then we're not even going to talk about, like, I know Rhea's been hurt, but we're just dusting off old nachos with Jade and Tiff, and she became a third wheel in the story for her title. Like,
Yeah, I mean-
who's the other contenders?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. I agree with you on this because at least AEW is using a lot of their women compared to WWE, which a lot of their women are mostly sitting backstage and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because they're injured or just they just don't have anything for them, or they're trying to like repackage them into another character or whatever, you know. So I do agree with you on that, and I gotta give it to Tony Khan because at least he is. I feel like AEW has been progressing in producing their shows as of late, and I feel like I feel like their numbers have been increasing from what I've seen. So I gotta give it to AEW for finally understanding what the crowd is looking for and how to deliver on their product. So I do have to agree with you on your statement on that.
And it's not just WWE, it's TNA as well. Because the Knockouts tag titles, before Slammiversary, they didn't get defended before. Like, the last time they got defended before Slammiversary was February. Knockouts world title, Laying Lee. It's been Laying Lee, Ariana Grace, and Elzada Brookside. That's pretty much it. And you expect me to believe you're going to have a 16-woman tournament to crown a fourth woman champion? Come on now.
Yeah, I agree. And that is it for the open discussion. Now we're gonna get into the Indieverse. Starting off with Chaz Starboy Hill is the new WWE ID champion. Big congrats to Chaz. AJ Styles was in his son's Avery's Corner, and his son had trademarked that name, which I actually got to see some of the clips of him wrestling, and I think he's gonna be a mega star in due time because I mean that kid can wrestle. I saw some of his clips, and that kid moves just like his dad, so I gotta give it to him.
My only thing with Avery is just my thing with every single multi-generational talent, and we talked about this a little bit with Ava. How can you differentiate yourself from your legendary parents? So how can Avery, once AJ's like, outside of his first match, because I know that was a big deal and AJ wanted to be there, but I'm saying outside of that, now what can Avery do to differentiate himself from AJ?
No, I agree. I mean, he's still, trying to find himself and trying to find his footing and whatnot. So in due time, I'm pretty sure he's going to be a great wrestler, and and maybe we'll see him sometime either in AEW or maybe even WWE. Who knows?
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with him.
Even both of Sting's sons they're wrestling, but they are trying their best right now to differentiate themselves from Singer. They both have donned the face paint during Sting's retirement run.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's just how can you establish yourself to differentiate yourself from your family?
Yep. And then as well, GCW Bash at the Ballpark, that's taking place Saturday, July 4th. And that's gonna be at Maimonides Park. Is that how you pronounce it?
Did you say GC or JC?
GC.
Okay, I thought that was JC for a second.
GCW.
So I was about to just throw it there real quick.
That's happening in New York.
Yeah.
And you can watch that on Thriller TV. And then GCW Backyard Wrestling 8. That's happening Sunday, July 5th at 3 p.m. And where is this taking place? Doesn't say. Is it taking place in the same spot? No, it doesn't say anything. Well, but anyways, that's taking place Sunday, July 5th at 3 p.m. Eastern time on Thriller TV. So make sure you check those shows out. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a great show. So, but
Yeah.
and that is it for today's episode. Eric, did you want to plug in anything?
Go to nationalwrestlingalliance.com. Check out all the latest news and latest episodes of NWA Power on Comet TV every Saturday at 4 p.m. Buy your tickets for upcoming shows. NWA 78 coming up on July 25th at the 2300 Arena. Double TV taping of NWA Power in Tampa, August 22nd. Go buy your tickets at nwaliveevents.com. And yeah.
Danese?
I doubt we're gonna have UWO tonight, but I would just say tune in every week for RTC, and we're gonna hit it hard through this heat wave.
Yes, sir. And Trico?
We are on the road to Minneapolis.
Oh God.
And that is it for today's episode. I hope everybody has a great day. Happy 4th of July. Y'all stay safe. Light us some fireworks. Don't get burnt. And drink responsibly. And we'll catch you at the next episode. Are we doing that interview today too? Or
Interview will be tomorrow with referee Tyler Crow, Saturday morning, July 4th episode. Tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m.
all right. And there you have it.